Coming from East New York, Brooklyn, places like that, you don't really get to see a lot of people that have lived their dreams, their big dreams like this. And I just had to believe that it was possible. I'm Dominique Fishback, and this is On the Rise. When I was 10 years old, I would stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning just to catch I Love Lucy. And my mom would be like, you're gonna suffer in the morning when it's time to go to school. But I just stayed up and watched Lucy. I would watch Sister, Sister and take notes on it. If I was Tamara, I would do like this. If I was T, I would do it like that. Loved a lot of romance since I was a kid. I probably shouldn't have been watching Titanic, but I would always catch it on TV, the Titanic. Romeo and Juliet, of course, Leo and Claire. My mom said when I was about 5, I used to melt to the floor in excruciating pain and say, I'm melting. I was the Wicked Witch of the West. So there was that. Especially when I got to college, a lot of friends would kind of say that their family made them take theater as a minor or made them take something else and said, you can go, but that shouldn't be a career. And my mom never tried to like make me get a job, like a regular job. She supported me. She took out loans for me to go to Pace University so that I could study theater. Very supportive. I wrote and starred in a one-woman show called Subverted about the destruction of Black identity in America. And I played 22 different characters spanning from the slave era and the modern side. And they parallel to show comparisons. When I was in sociology class, a lot of times I'll be the only Black person in my class. And this white boy said if African-American males in low-income communities dressed normally, they wouldn't be stopped by the police. And I was like, ugh. And I started debating with him, and I looked around and nobody could advocate with me because nobody was from where I was from. And I was really upset, but then I told myself, Dom, he doesn't know. What I can do is instead of getting mad, I could use the gifts and talents that God gave me to create a show. And then for an hour and 20 minutes, this predominantly white university has to sit in my truth and the truth of people who come from areas like mine. I was doing ADR for Show Me a Hero, and David, before going into the booth, David said, I want to talk to you about something afterwards. And I was like, okay. Like, you say it right before I go into this ADR. So I go in and I finish it, and then he says, so I don't know if you heard, but I'm working on a new show. I was like, no. He said, it's called The Deuce, and I wrote a character with you in mind, but it's not a role you take just to take it because, well, it's about the rise of the porn industry in the 1970s in Times Square. So read the scripts, and if you don't want to do it, it's no harm, no foul. I talked to my mom about it, about the nudity, and she said, Dom, you're an actress, and if you feel comfortable, that's what you want to do, then I don't have no problem with it. And I wrote, before The Deuce came out, I wrote like an open letter to my family and friends on Facebook about it, because I really didn't want to hear people. Sometimes people think they're being encouraging, and they're not. When they say things like, you're so talented, you don't have to do that. It's like, I know I don't have to do that. I'm the one looking over this script. I'm the one weighing out all of the options. You don't think I thought about even though they don't mean any harm, but you could get defensive about that, especially when they think that some other entity is controlling what you decide to do with your body. I remember just wanting to go really based on heart and soul, and I didn't want to play into the idea of a sex worker talking a certain way or walking a certain way. I said that's her job, and she's gonna be that no matter what, no matter how she's quote unquote played. And so I just wanna live. I really appreciated journaling and Judas and the Black Messiah because it wasn't a crutch. And I realized that people were loving the performances that I was doing. And then I thought, I have to journal. I have to write all of these things out to make sure that I'm playing the character the best of my ability. And then when I got to do Project Power with Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it was moving fast. We had 6-day weeks. We would get new scenes written like right before we shot. And so I really didn't get the opportunity to journal as Robin. I remember talking to Jamie and being like, do you ever feel like like it's just easy, or how do you always feel? He said, do you watch basketball? I said sometimes. He says when Steph Curry runs down the court and he shoots a 3 and it goes in, he doesn't question himself as to why it went in. He's been doing it for so long, and so have you, and so it's kind of muscle memory. You don't have to worry about those things because it's already inside. The poem I read to Daniel in the scene is called When the People Call. It's a poem that I got to write that Shaka allowed me to put my own spin and my own truth to it. I also was like, well, you know, I was kind of wondering if Deborah could have a journal that she carries around, even if it's not it's not like heavily featured in the scene, at least for the audience and our peripheral vision will see that she's constantly writing. We'll see she has a world going on outside of the chairman, outside of the Black Panther Party, that I wanted her to have something that belonged to her. I actually have the book right here. It's a prop, and they always want to keep props on set, but I was like, I don't know, yeah, you can't have this one. Like it's really my personal thoughts, but I really allow for every moment. I'm looking at a poem, it's called Have You Ever Kissed a Silver Tongue? And that's about their first kiss. This one was really important because it was the opportunity to tell such a transformative Black love in general, but Black specifically, because a lot of times we don't get to celebrate that and see that. Being a romantic and always wanting to tell those stories and then getting to portray it to help highlight who Chairman Fred Hampton is and was just an honor. So when I think about making it, I will say that I feel like I got to a place where I can feel like I've shown versatility, but there's so much more things that I want to do, that I have in mind to do. Even like I'm writing a book, writing a novel, writing a poetry book. My friend and I are doing a book club for women. I love to share knowledge. If people want to know, it will be here for them. If they don't, then they can, you know, just like a cute picture that I'll post or something, you know? Just really, really trying to tap into soul's purpose and why I'm here. In 5 years, my dream scenario, whatever God has in store in the universe, because every time I try to limit something, it always makes it bigger than what I could imagine. So I will leave space for all those magical things to happen. But I see a house with a basketball court. I see definitely my husband and my kids, probably 2. 5 years, yeah, like maybe at least 1. How old am I? Yeah, like getting over there between 1 or 2 or something like that. Tony Award, Oscar, you know, the things that we wanted as kids. For me anyway, when I was a kid and wanted to be an actor, we saw those things and we had the microphone or the remote and we're like, oh, I just see. So I want to be able to get up there and say it, and say like how Biggie said, Brooklyn, we did it, and we did it again. And Jay-Z said it too in the words of Biggie. And then if I could be up there saying, we did it again in the words of Biggie and then Jay-Z, that'd be dope.